Part of the crowd tonight. This place, we say, is jam-packed. Look at those placards out there. There's one that says Tommy Prichard is number one. Another one says, "Hi, Mom and Dad." Well, they're number one too. All kinds of signs, all kinds of banners, and all kinds of whatever you want to call that. That's the Cuban assassin getting into the ring. Crowd now chanting USA, USA, and that gets his ire right away. And we await the arrival of one Tommy Prichard. It's going to be Tommy Prichard, Houston, Texas, USA, against the Cuban assassin, Havana, Cuba. Oh, look at it. He just paces in there like a Cuban panther or something. Now the crowd, you can tell by the crowd reaction. Here comes Tommy. Tommy coming through the crowd. Look at that guy. That Cuban assassin is he's definitely a strange study. There's Tommy. Boy, what a job he did last weekend, too, for us, for United Cerebral Palsy. We certainly want to thank him. Now, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Tommy Prichard, with his martial arts, against the Cuban assassin in his mouth. We have yet to see the Cuban assassin lose a match. Here come Sandy Barr, and here's Don Owen to make the announcement of our main event tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next event will be the best 2 out of 3 falls are to a TV time limit. Introducing in this corner, 238 pounds, the Cuban. His opponent in this corner, 222 pounds, from Houston, Texas, Tommy Prichard.
Well, guess what? Which one the crowd is for? Tommy Prichard, the Cuban assassin. Sandy Barr going over that, I don't know, that is quite a different outfit the Cuban assassin wears. Khaki tights, I guess what you call that. Oh, look at that. That's the way he starts about every match. Before the bell is even rung, he's trying to ring bells. And he is on Tommy Prichard. A hard forearm smash across the chest. Here comes an arm whip into the turnbuckle. Oh, hit that hard. Down goes Tommy. Cuban assassin working. There's a hard elbow right on top of the head. Tommy Prichard coming back. The martial arts kick. There's a jab. There's a shot. Oh, yeah, he's rocking and rolling now into the... Oh, look at that! Back body drop. Oh, beautiful. Here comes a body slam. Tommy Prichard. Oh, the entire city of Houston, Texas unloading on the Cuban assassin right now. There we go. Here, meet the turnbuckle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Mr. Turnbuckle. Want to meet him again? Yeah, he's a nice guy. There you go. Right in the forehead. Oh, yeah, that kind of takes the starch out of you. Into the ring and ropes and an elbow. We may have our first fall right here. Tommy Prichard in control, in command of the Cuban assassin, who started out before the bell even rang. And now he's suffering the consequences. Crowd chanting, yelling, USA, USA, and the Cuban assassin has just got to sit there and listen. Oh, there's a good move by the Cuban assassin, a hammerlock, a reversal hammerlock by Tommy Prichard. Look at that Tommy Prichard. Man, what a wrestler he is. He's fast. He's powerful. And he's former one half of the Northwest Tag Team Champions. If you haven't heard, last Saturday night, the Indians, Billy Two Eagles and Don Running Bear, became the Northwest Tag Team Champions. Oh, those belts look good on those two guys. Tommy Prichard with that hammerlock on the Cuban assassin. You know, if you've got a club or a church or group, organization, we've been talking about charities recently, that you want to raise money for, you can do that by booking professional wrestling into your area. To raise money for a charitable cause, there it is right there. Barry Owen. You can call Barry, area code 503-484-0840, and Barry will tell you exactly how you can go about booking professional wrestling into your area to raise money for a charitable cause. While we're on the subject of charity, that doesn't look too charitable out there, does it, what Tommy's doing to the Cuban assassin? January 26th and 27th is going to be the scene of the Shrine Hospital Bowling Benefit. This is really your Super Bowl, where you can use your legs to bowl and help a crippled child to walk. It's going to be at Timber Lanes next Saturday, 26th, and next Sunday, the 27th. Public is invited. Bring your friends, join the fun, and help some kids all at the same time. That's what I consider a real Super Bowl, the Shrine Hospital Bowling Benefit. Look at the Cuban assassin. He's reeling from those shots from Tommy Prichard. Now he's coming back with some of his own. Tommy Prichard. Both men really rocking right now. That's a thumb right into the throat. Cuban assassin using the thumb. Now he's trying to tell Sandy Barr use the palm of his hand. That was a thumb going right into the throat of Tommy Prichard. Tommy is down. He's hurting. Now the Cuban brings down the elbow on top of the head. There's a thumb again. He's got some of the longest thumbs I've ever seen. Look at his thumb. They're as long as fingers. Oh, when that goes into your throat, you're going to feel that. Now he's going for a pile driver on Tommy. There it is. Pile driver. Oh. The Cuban assassin with a pile driver on Tommy Prichard, going for the pin. No, he can't. Tommy's got his legs, his arms outside the ring. Tommy, you know, has really got to be in tremendous pain right now. He took a pile driver. Now he just took a rake down the back. Oh, Tommy is definitely in a bad way. He's really in a bad way. Backing up against the turnbuckle. Oh, a mule kick by Tommy. A martial arts move. Tommy Prichard coming back from that pile driver. There's a rake down the Cuban's back. Yeah. USA style. This is the match that Tommy Prichard asked for last Saturday night, remember? The USA against Cuba. And Tommy Prichard really going to look at him. Oh, down he goes. Tommy Prichard romping and stomping. I think that landed on his chin. It's hard to tell with all that beard. Now the Cuban looked again like fingers or a thumb going right into the midsection of Tommy. Cuban assassin trying to recover. Tommy Prichard in a lot of pain. That wasn't just a fist going. He didn't used to use his fist. He used the thumb again or the finger. Even if he did use the thumb, still hard to tell. Oh. Tommy in a bad way now. 1-2, and he kicks out. Tommy Prichard kicks out. Oh, you should be here to just feel this crowd. They're shouting USA. They've heard what the assassin's been saying the past couple of weeks. Tommy Prichard finally had enough of it last Saturday night. Challenged the assassin, the Cuban, for this match tonight, where he said it would be America against Cuba. There's an elbow around top of the head. Tommy paid for it, but at least he got out of that jam with an elbow right on top of the Cuban's head. Oh, and he just took a shot from the Cuban. I'll tell you, Cuban is tough. He's definitely tough, and he knows all the tricks. There's a mule kick by Tommy Prichard. There's a drop. That's got a drop mule kick by Tommy. Look at him. That Texas temper. He's grabbing the assassin by a hair. There's one on top of the forehead. Here comes an arm whip into the turnbuckle. Wham! Oh, Tommy Prichard just was clotheslined by the Cuban assassin, and that's it. I tell you, that guy is tough. Cuban assassin has taken the first fall of our main event over Tommy Prichard. And we'll be back with the second fall after this timeout. Sandy Barr is going to be waiting for him in Salem. I wonder if he knows that. I suppose you'll find out. Cuban assassin in the ring. We await Tommy Prichard. Cuban assassin took the first fall just moments ago. This is our main event, best 2 out of 3 to a TV time limit. Well, I haven't seen the Cuban lose a match or a fall yet. Tommy Prichard going right to work. Side headlock on the Cuban. Cuban again going for the hair. The guy would have made... Oh, there, he just came down on nothing. Here comes a body slam by Tommy Prichard. Here comes another one. 2 in a row. Tommy Prichard moving in. Takedown on the Cuban assassin. The Cuban assassin would have made a perfect member of the former Klan, wouldn't he? He fights their kind of fight, their kind of style, which is ugly. That's the kind of a guy he is. Now, when you get in that ring with him, you've got to expect that. And I know that Tommy does, that sometimes things... Tommy took a pretty good beating that first fall, and he just wasn't quite ready after that pile driver. He still came back, even after that pile driver. But that'll take a lot out of you. Finally, the Cuban assassin got that first fall from Tommy Prichard. Look at him. See, he's using the trunks. Sandy Barr can't see it. That Cuban has, he's been around. He's been in a lot of ring wars. He goes again for the trunks, but it's out of sight of Sandy Barr. Sandy can't see that. The guy's really good at concealing these things. As he's just putting his fingers there on the trunks of Tommy Prichard. Tommy just hanging on to that side headlock as both men get to their feet. Now again, the assassin, Cuban rather, this time going for the hair. There's a shot into the ropes coming up. He misses. Here comes Tommy. Oh, baby. The truck hit him. A drop kick. Another drop kick. Yes, sir. Into the turnbuckle. Down he goes. This may be pin time if Tommy moves in. Tommy Prichard, he's unloading now on the Cuban. There's another pop on top of the forehead. Here comes an arm whip into the ropes. Coming off the ropes. Drop kick. Yes, sir. Right on the Cuban chops. Going for the pin. 1, 2, and the Cuban kicks out. And you know he had to be feeling all those. He's got to be hurting a little bit. 1, 2, and just rolls his shoulders off the mat. Tommy Prichard fighting with the spirit of the entire crowd here tonight. Fighting with the spirit of America in that ring right now. As far as Tommy's concerned, it's the USA against Cuba. That was the match he asked for last Saturday night. The Cuban assassin came up here in the crow's nest and was not very complimentary against the American people of the Northwest. But I would imagine he accepts our money, doesn't he? Eh? Tommy Prichard with that side headlock on the Cuban. Sandy Barr keeping a watchful eye. The crowd really getting behind Tommy, trying to provide that extra fan power that sometimes is so important in matches like this. Don't forget, next Saturday night, kids free when accompanied by a paid adult. Right after this fall, we're going to show that special tape that Billy Jack set up here regarding that match that he wants with Kendo Nagasaki, and it looks like that's going to happen on Saturday, February 2nd, right here at the Portland Sports Arena. You might want to mark that one down. Get that on your calendar. Make your plans. Now the Cuban assassin powering out and using the hair. There he goes. When he runs out of power, he'll resort to something like that. Just using the hair. Now he's going to bring that Havana boot down the forehead of Tommy. Cuban assassin now, the aggressor. Tommy Prichard trying to fight to his feet. The Cuban, there he goes to the trunks. Sandy couldn't see that. The crowd over here on this other side telling Sandy, yeah, he grabbed the trunks. Tommy trying to worm and squirm his way out of that grasp. Can't do it. Tommy Prichard, oh, he would love to grab some of that hair. Cuban assassin has got enough hair on his head and on his face to carpet this arena in here. I guess that'd be a mohair carpet. He's got more hair than anybody. Sandy Barr trying to keep as close an eye on this action as he possibly can. But it's impossible to see everything, especially when the Cuban reaches back and grabs the trunks or grabs back of the hair. A lot of very interesting signs, banners here tonight. If you have a chance, bring the whole family out to the Portland Sports Arena. Some of the most exciting action is, or possibly the most exciting sights are not always in the ring. Some of these banners here are worth coming out here just to see. The body slam by the Cuban. Now the Cuban looks like he's going to go upstairs. 1, 2, third. Yeah, he's on the top rope, and he's going to have a little help down. Yes, sir. Tommy Prichard helping the Cuban assassin down from the top rope. Now, I think he missed his head and landed on his hair. Oh, Tommy came down right on the mat. Cuban just rolled out of the way. Tommy needs to even this up. Oh, the Cuban going for a wheel. Oh, he's going for a Boston Crab on Tommy. That could be a submission hold right now, but I doubt very much that Tommy Prichard is going to be giving up. Because if he loses this fall, this baby's all over. And the Cuban will have won the main. Oh, look at that! Tommy sprang him off of there, and he landed neck first on the second rope. Now Tommy Prichard unloading on the Cuban assassin. Cuban coming right back. There's a shot in the midsection. It comes a reversal whip into the ropes. And, a mule kick delivered by Tommy Prichard. That's lights out for the Cuban. 1, 2. He's got him. Yes, sir. What a mule kick that was. Oh, that was almost a drop kick, but he turned it into a mule kick, and he caught the Cuban right on his beard. And down and out he went. This is all even at one fall apiece. We'll be back with the third and deciding fall after this. Well, we're going to show that. We're going to show that tape after this turn. There'll be no doubt what Billy has in mind, and it looks like that may be taking place. It will take place on Saturday, February the 2nd. Billy Jack. That was taped in Texas. But Billy is definitely ready. After the beating that he took from Kendo Nagasaki with a kendo stick, he took a beating from Oliver. It was all, in fact, that was all part of that same match. If you were watching, you know exactly what happened. You saw it. If you were here, well, you really saw it, because there was action that went on outside the ring that you didn't see on television. So, Billy is loaded for bear. He's ready. So is Tommy Prichard. Wow. Tommy Prichard and the Cuban. Cuban can't get a hold of Tommy. Look at the Cuban's nose is bleeding. Yeah, the Cuban's nose is bleeding. He lost that second fall. Well, Tommy must have had a nose lock on him or something. Tommy's got some blood on him, but I think that's from the Cuban. Side headlock applied by the Cuban assassin on Tommy Prichard. Cuban is tough. He's physically strong, and he's so cagey, so sly. Tommy Prichard trying to power out of that side headlock. Powering out. Look at that. I don't think the Cuban's going to be able to hold him. Tommy Prichard powering out. The Cuban, I don't think is going to have any place. Yeah, the Cuban coming back. Yeah, this is kind of like an arm wrestling match. It looks like the Cuban may have the leverage now on Tommy. Here comes Tommy. That is sheer brute strength. The Cuban trying to power back. Tommy trying to keep the advantage. Now look at the Cuban now coming back. Keeps going one way and now the other. Somebody is going to end up on the mat. Tommy Prichard trying desperately to power his way back. Look at that. Look at that. You can see the strength in Tommy's back, in his arms. Powering out of there. Look at that. Look at that. The Cuban is shaking. He's down. Well, the USA won that test of strength. Tommy Prichard in control over the Cuban assassin. Sandy Barr on all fours, keeping an eye on the action. Oh, you could feel the electricity here. You could absolutely feel it. The people, the crowd here, they were... felt like everybody was in that ring trying to help Tommy with that strength match. In fact, that tired me out just watching that. It was good to see Billy Jack back on the on tape, even if it was on tape. This is a pretty good picture we got of Billy too. That's from when he won the award last year for the most improved wrestler of the year from Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. Here we go again now. There's another one. Same hold. Same situation now. Both men on their feet. Cuban powering down. Tommy Prichard trying to prevent that, but now he's got Tommy bent. He's got Tommy bent backwards. I don't think Tommy's going to be getting out of this one. No, there goes Tommy. Head first down. Look at Tommy Prichard. Oh, mercy. That takes a whole lot of work out in the gym, my friend, to be able to do the things that Tommy's doing right there. He just bridged himself and powered back. Now this has been the story of our second fall here. It's just been a test of strength. There we go, into the turnbuckle. Oh, the Cuban. He didn't go into the turnbuckle. He went into that iron post. He caught his shoulder in there. Now he's gonna be stunned for a while. Fireman carry by Tommy Prichard to kneeling arm bar. Tommy's got that locked into a figure four on the Cuban. Oh, the Cuban shoulder has got to be smarting right now. He caught that iron post with the shoulder. Went right between the ropes. Oh, he brought the knee up. The Cuban brought his knee up, caught Tommy. There's a forearm smash across the back of the neck. Cuban assassin is hurting. You can see that. He's bleeding from the nose. There's a knee right into the side of the face. There was going outside. Oh my word. Tommy went outside, landed on the concrete. It's hard to tell how close he came to that first row. Cuban assassin using this time to recover a little bit. Here comes Tommy. Trying to crawl back into the ring. He just took a hard fall outside the rope. Outside the ring, there's a headbutt by the Cuban. Tommy went back outside. I think the Cuban hurt his own head. He did. He's just kneeling over here in the corner. The Cuban hurt his own head. Now, the clock is going to become a factor here. We've got about 6 minutes left in our main event. We're all even at one fall apiece. Cuban assassin going to suplex Tommy back in. There it is. Now he's going for the pin. 1, 2, and Tommy kicks out. Looks like Tommy's got a bandage on his left ear from an injury sustained earlier this week, obviously. Here comes an arm whip into the ropes, coming off the ropes. No, he just clotheslined Tommy Prichard. Just clotheslined him. Tommy laying out there. Is that going to be a pin? 1, 2, no sir. Tommy kicks out. Tommy Prichard kicking out. I'll tell you, that Cuban assassin knows he's in there with a tiger right now, an American tiger. Here comes an arm whip into the ropes, coming off those ropes. Cuban misses, and Tommy doesn't. Tommy came off those ropes, nailed the Cuban. He's going to use the ropes, going to come off him again, and the Cuban moves out of the way, and Tommy lands face first on the mat. Tommy, you should have nailed him when you had him. Both men getting to their feet at the same time. There's a flying shoulder tackle by Tommy Prichard. Caught the Cuban right in the midsection. Tommy Prichard unloading a right hand, another right hand. That turned the Cuban around. There, Cuban just caught Tommy. He's going to, right on the top of the rope. That could be a disqualification. I've seen a disqualification on that. But they're still going. There's a right hand by Tommy. An uppercut by Tommy. The Cuban backing off now. Asking for a little mercy. No mercy from Tommy Prichard. Tommy going to town. Side headlock. There's an overtime right in the ear. Here comes an arm whip into the ropes. Coming off the ropes. Back body drop. Yes, sir. Tommy Prichard. Arm drag. Tommy Prichard arm bar. Kneeling arm bar on the Cuban, and Cuban nailed Tommy right in the face. Tommy Prichard right back. Tommy going into the ropes. Shoulder tackle coming off. Going to use the other side. Oh, no. The Cuban was waiting for him, and he just... Tommy Prichard landed outside on the concrete. The Cuban's out there with him. Tommy's hurt. He's hurting. He hit that concrete hard. Into that metal post. Tommy was able to get his left hand up, but I don't think he was able to block much. He still caught his head. He caught his head right on that metal post. Now the Cuban's back in the ring after that damage. Tommy lying motionless out there on the concrete. He caught the side of his head right on that iron post. Meanwhile, Sandy Barr counting. Here comes the Cuban again. And that'll break the count. Tommy is bleeding from his forehead. Then another shot. Right. Tommy caught that right on top of the head going into that iron post. As far as I'm concerned, that should be a disqualification. The Cuban assassin pretty proud of what he's doing there. To the man from Houston. Tommy Prichard, really, he's really in a bad way now. Bleeding from the top of the head, bleeding from the forehead. Here comes the Cuban. Nailed him again. He won't even let him back in the ring. He won't even let him come back in the ring. Meanwhile, time is really a factor. Time is going to be running out. Sandy Barr is still counting. He's counting. Tommy Prichard only has 20. The count of 20 to get back in the ring. Here comes the Cuban again. Every time he does that, of course, that breaks the count, but it also breaks Tommy's head. Here comes Tommy with a shoulder right in the breadbasket. That put the Cuban down right on his Havana. There's a kick. Tommy Prichard bleeding, but he's going to town. He's going to work. There's a mule kick, and the Cuban is outside. So is Tommy. He does it. Yeah, here we go. I thought he was going to shove him into the post, but he just wants him back in the ring. Right hand. Another one. Here comes an arm whip into the rope. Coming off. Oh, baby. He nailed the Cuban with that elbow coming off those ropes. Tommy staying right on him. Just pounding away. Throwing him back in the ring. The Cuban, he just wants... Where's Havana from here? He's heading back to the dressing room. The Cuban is going back. He's going back to the dressing room. through the crowd. The crowd shouting at him, USA, USA. Yeah, he's going right back to the dressing room. He is. I can see it from here. He's opened the door. There he's back. Sandy, you might as well just go ahead and... As I said, he's got the 20. Tommy Prichard is the winner. Tommy Prichard has won our main event. The USA has been victorious over Cuba thanks to Tommy Prichard. We'll be back right after this.